Okay. All right. Here's something I've been wanting to know, and that is, why do you, and I just get the general sense that you are no fan of Microsoft's Outlook product. No fan whatsoever. And and again, being a business tech guy, I run into people that live in Outlook all day long. Okay, so what's wrong with Outlook?
It's inefficient. It's a lot like the stereo cabinet stuff we talked about earlier. I mean, I want to use the right tool, and if Microsoft made it, I would use it. And it's hard for me because obviously I'm Microsoft focused. You want to use the Microsoft stuff, but I don't use Exchange. I don't use Outlook. I don't use certain Microsoft products. So I've tried. And every version that comes out, I try. I see the improvements. Yep. Okay. Yep. There's no doubt about it. Outlook 2010 is better.
Still Outlook.
It's still Outlook. And it's Outlook. Outlook is Microsoft's iTunes. It's something that is just been piled on and piled on and piled on, and it's just it's too inefficient. Now, of course, I work a certain way and I do a certain thing for a living. I mean, I think a lot of the people who live in Outlook, because a lot of people do, are not necessarily involved with technology. They work, they have jobs. And Outlook is that kind of all-in-one tool that has your day there in front of you, and maybe that's what they need. That's not what I need. I work at home and I have my own schedule and so forth. I mean, for me, email efficiency is key. I want to get in and out of that and move on. And for me, the Gmail and specifically the web interface to Gmail is extremely efficient. And that's weird to me. And because webmail for many years was like AOL, right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. And Gmail, I think, made webmail legitimate again. In fact, it's superior. Microsoft has made some interesting improvements to Hotmail lately, which get it close, not quite, but it's better. And then of course they have Outlook Web Access, which you can get with Exchange, and it's a web-based version of Outlook, and it's okay, But it's for me, Gmail is just very efficient, and it's hard, because it's Google, but ultimately I have to go with what works best. So
well, they do things well, and there is I know with the Google Apps Premium account. You can get a tool that will allow you to synchronize your calendar, contacts, and mail with Outlook, which is part of it.
But why would you want to do that?
When you're going in and, I'll tell you, Paul, when you're going into that small business that's got that Exchange server and said, what are you thinking? Let me get you over to something hosted.
Well, I will say this.
Okay.
Under that scheme, right? And if you're using that, or if you're using Exchange server, for example, that's at least the right way to store data. Data stored up on the cloud, and Outlook in that scenario works like a Windows Phone would, or an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever. It's a client. It's a place where the data is synced to or stored on or cached on or whatever. But the central storage is up in the cloud.
Exactly.
Server, and that's where it belongs.
I
think part of the problem with Outlook is that for too many people, they're using pop mail with the thing, which is just horrific.
Yeah.
And they've downloaded everything. They've got this PST file that's like 2 gigabytes big or something at this point. And it's just made the whole thing slow and gross, and it's the wrong. I suppose a clean install of Outlook with everything up in the cloud would be okay. A lot of people have written me and said, it's not so horrible when you use it with Exchange server, which is like saying some form of cancer is a better form than some other form. I don't know. I just don't.
Wow.
I just hate it. I know that's harsh. I hate it.
That was harsh. Okay. Well, you call it like you see it, and
I just don't
obviously the man's been around some Exchange servers. Like cancer, pal. Could be the cancer, the kidney, whatever. It's still cancer.
Yeah.
That's too. Oh yeah, you got him squirming in Redmond on that. I was like, shut up, Paul. Okay.
I wish they would fix it. I mean, I wish they would write it from scratch. It's something that could be done right and should be done right. And they've certainly done some work up in the web client where they've done some nice things there. Maybe if they could start over from scratch with Outlook, they could get it right.
Fair enough. Now, okay, so